UFC 138, Chris Leben, Mark Munoz, the main event. The first 5-round title fight in UFC history. And we wanted to know what it takes to get in shape for a 5-round fight. And we figured who better to ask than the man who's trained a few champions, Coach Greg Jackson. So, Coach, what right now is it taking for Mark Munoz and Chris Leben to get into shape for a 5-round fight, as opposed to the 3-round fights that they've been used to?
Well, training for a 3-round fight and a 5-round fight, there's not a lot of difference there. You're going to add a few rounds of sparring. You know, if usually you do 3 or 4 rounds of sparring in a session, you're going to do 5 or 6. But the real danger comes in the overtraining. If you train too hard, if you are really excited about this fight, you know, what I got to do is this 5-round fight, and you put everything into it, you're training too many rounds, too many physical exercises, you're going to start depleting yourself. And then you will feel that around 4 or 5. When that 4th round comes, when that 5th round comes, you're not going to have that same pep because you overtrained. So the real danger isn't not training, you know, to your potential, it's overtraining. So they need to be real careful with that.
I can imagine as a fighter, too, that mentality that I have to add on 2 more rounds. I'm already tired at the end of 15 minutes, so I have to go harder, I have to go harder. So as a coach, how do you then pull them back and convince them that, no, the training we're doing right now is going to have you in shape for those last 2 rounds?
Well, that's the real trick. The real trick is, listen, can we get this guy to pace himself? Can we get this guy to make sure that he doesn't overtrain? How do you do that? Well, it's basic. You say, listen, if you keep pushing, if you're doing 8 or 12 rounds of sparring, this is logic. You will not be able to perform, period. So you got to come at him with a real logical frame of mind. You got to say, listen, if you keep driving like this, you're just not going to be there. It's not going to work. Just add a round or 2 of sparring, just like you would in the fight. When you get used to that, it's not going to be a huge deal.
And speaking of that frame of mind, I mean, we know how mentally taxing a fight can be. So how are you preparing a fighter mentally to really dig deep when he's in those deeper waters and tired in that 4th and 5th round?
Well, preparing a fighter to go into those deep waters is something that you should be doing from the inception of their fight career. Early on, you need to put that in their head. You need to say, listen, you need to suffer to win. When you're exhausted, you need to drive, drive, drive. That should already be programmed into them. And with vets like these guys, it's already in there. They're both extremely tough guys, great competitors. And when the fire comes on, I think they're going to be ready for it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.